Hi, this is Aaliyah, author of Prep Ahead Meals from Scratch. I don't know if you realize this or not, but you can cook ground meat in your slow cooker. I like to cook 3 to 5 pounds of ground beef at a time in the slow cooker, and it cooks remarkably fast. I will cook this on high for 2 to 3 hours, and it will be completely cooked through with very little effort on my part. I will come back in every 30 minutes to 45 minutes just to break up the beef crumbles a little bit and to turn it over so it cooks evenly. If you want to cook it on slow, you would cook it for 4 to 6 hours. And you know, the cooking times on slow cookers really vary, and in large part that's because of the size and shape of them. I have a large oval crock pot, and there's more of my food is in contact with the surface area, the heated surface area of the crock pot, so my crock pot cooks a little bit faster. If you have a smaller round crock pot, yours might cook just a little bit slower. So just be careful the first time you do it and figure out the cooking times for your slow cooker, and then you'll have a plan for the future. I'll be back in 2 hours when this is done, and in the meantime, I'm going to be roasting some spaghetti squash for my kids. All right, the ground beef has cooked for a little over 2 hours in my slow cooker, and it is nice and evenly browned now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a slotted spoon so that way I can get the ground beef without all the excess liquid, and I'm going to put it in 2-cup containers because this is just a really efficient size for my family of 5 for me to grab it and use it in recipes. And then I'm just going to fill these up. I'm going to wait until this is cooled a little bit before I put it in the freezer. The ground beef that I'm going to use in the next couple days, I'll just put that directly in the refrigerator. But if I'm not going to use it within a couple days, then I'm going to go ahead and freeze it. You can keep cooked ground beef in the freezer for 3 months if you wish. And then just make sure you label it, because if you have cooked ground beef and cooked turkey, they tend to start looking alike. In my cookbook, Prep Ahead Meals from Scratch, you can find more recipes for batch cooking beef, as well as batch cooking tips for cooking chicken, pork, rice, beans, and lentils. And then after each batch cooking section at the beginning of each chapter, you'll find 20 recipes to use that batch cook recipe, and really easy recipes that you can use throughout the week on busy nights. You can find Prep Ahead Meals from Scratch wherever cookbooks are sold, and keep coming back to this YouTube channel where I'm going to be sharing cooking tips and batch cooking techniques to make your dinners a little bit easier.